I never told my daughter Sophia that her father didn't just leave me with crushing debt after the divorce. He left me broken, yes, credit cards maxed, a mortgage underwater, and a heart that felt like it had been scraped raw. But what everyone thought was rock bottom became my silent empire. While Sophia believed I was still recovering, piecing together a modest life as a part-time receptionist in a stuffy little Havana office, I was rebuilding in the shadows. I poured every spare dollar, every sleepless night, into a dream no one knew about, Serenity Collective, a chain of luxury wellness spas that now stretched across Miami Beach, Brickell, and beyond. I was the majority owner and founder, but I stayed silent. No flashy cars, no designer labels, just quiet investments and late-night strategy calls from my modest Coral Gables bungalow. Sophia, 28, and head over heels in love, thought I was barely scraping by. She worried about me constantly, slipping grocery money into my purse, offering to cover my medical bills. I let her. I wanted her to stand on her own, not lean on a safety net she didn't know existed. So when she called me that humid Thursday afternoon, her voice buzzing with nervous excitement, I already sensed the setup. "Mom, please come to dinner Saturday night. It's at this incredible steakhouse on South Beach, STK. Ryan's parents are flying in from New York, and they really want to meet you. It's important." I heard the unspoken plea, "Don't embarrass me." Ryan's family was old hedge fund money, the kind that summered in the Hamptons and collected contemporary art like it was baseball cards. I smiled into the phone. "Of course, honey, I'll be there." Saturday evening, the ocean breeze carried the scent of salt and expensive perfume as I stepped out of my 10-year-old Honda Civic 2 blocks from the restaurant. I had chosen my outfit with care. A faded yellow sundress I'd owned since Sophia's high school graduation, the hem slightly frayed, paired with simple white flip-flops that slapped softly against the sidewalk. My hair was pulled into a loose ponytail, no makeup except a swipe of drugstore lip balm. I looked exactly like what they expected, a tired, middle-aged single mom still climbing out of financial ruin. The hostess at STK South Beach led me through the sleek, pulsing dining room. Bass from the music vibrated under my feet. Candlelight flickered off mirrored walls and leather banquettes. At a prime table overlooking the glittering South Beach night, they waited. Ryan stood first, tall and polished in a navy blazer. Sophia jumped up, hugging me tightly, her designer dress whispering against my cotton one. "Mom, you made it." Her eyes darted to my outfit, a flicker of worry crossing her face. Ryan's father, Victor Langford, rose next. Mid-50s, silver at the temples, the kind of man who wore his wealth like armor. His wife, Elena, remained seated, her diamond tennis bracelet catching the light as she offered a tight smile. Her Louboutins probably cost more than my car. "Mrs. Ramirez," Victor said, extending a firm hand. "Pleasure. Ryan's told us so much about you." We sat. The menus arrived, thick, leather-bound, no prices listed. I pretended to study mine, squinting like the French terms confused me. Victor wasted no time flexing. "So, we just got back from our private island in the Exumas. Beautiful this time of year. You ever been to the Bahamas, Mrs. Ramirez?" I shook my head, keeping my voice soft and uncertain. "No, never had the chance. Work keeps me pretty busy." Elena leaned in, her perfume heavy with jasmine. "What is it you do again?" Ryan mentioned something about an office. "Receptionist at a medical clinic," I replied, lowering my eyes. "Nothing glamorous, just answering phones, scheduling appointments. Pays the bills, mostly." Victor chuckled, signaling the waiter for a bottle of something obscenely expensive. "Well, we all start somewhere. Elena and I built our hedge fund from scratch. Well, mostly from scratch. Now we manage portfolios for some of the biggest names on Wall Street. And we've been able to give Ryan every advantage. Private school, Ivy League, the works. Helps him avoid the wrong kind of people, gold diggers and such. Sophia shifted uncomfortably. I just nodded, letting the poison drip. The Wagyu arrived. $200 Japanese A5, seared to perfection, served with bone marrow and truffle reductions. Tiny portions that cost more than my weekly groceries. Victor cut into his with surgical precision. "We like Sophia very much," he continued as if delivering a boardroom pitch. "She's bright, ambitious, but we worry about her background, single-parent household, financial instability. These things can create long-term stress in a marriage. We'd be willing to cover any shortfalls in their lifestyle. A generous allowance, perhaps. In exchange, we'd appreciate it if you stayed in the background. No big family holidays where questions might arise. Nothing that might embarrass the family name." Elena nodded, her smile never reaching her eyes. "It's not personal, dear. We just want the best for our son. We've seen too many." The words landed like slaps. Sophia's cheeks burned. Ryan stared at his plate. I let the silence stretch, feeling the old rage I'd buried years ago, the rage of being dismissed, underestimated, discarded. But I kept my face humble, my shoulders slightly slumped. Finally, I reached into my faded straw purse and slid a crisp business card across the white tablecloth. It landed between Victor's wine glass and Elena's untouched bread plate. The card read in elegant silver lettering, "Isabella Ramirez, founder and majority owner, Serenity Collective." Elena picked it up first. Her perfectly arched brows shot up. Serenity Collective? The Serenity Collective? The one with the flagship spa on Collins Avenue? The membership wait list is 2 years long. We've been trying to get in for... She stopped. Recognition hit like a wave. Victor frowned, pulling out his phone and typing quickly. His face drained of color. "You're that Isabella Ramirez? The one who started with nothing after a bad divorce and now owns half the luxury wellness market in South Florida?" I smiled, the first real one of the night. No more timid act. My voice came out steady, edged with steel. "The very one. The spa you called overpriced for basic rich people on that investor call last year? Yeah, that was my flagship. I overheard the recording. Your analyst sent it by mistake when you were pitching against us. Cute nickname, by the way." Elena's hand trembled as she set the card down. The $200 Wagyu suddenly looked ridiculous on her plate. But the real twist was still coming. Sophia stood slowly, her chair scraping loud against the polished floor. All eyes turned to her. Tears glistened, but her chin was high. "Mom told me the truth last week," she said, voice clear and strong. "She showed me the financials, the contracts, the empire she built while I thought she was struggling to buy groceries. I only brought her here, dressed like this, acting like this, to see how you'd treat her. To see if you'd treat my mother, the woman who raised me alone, who sacrificed everything, like a human being. You failed, spectacularly." Ryan rose beside her, taking her hand without hesitation. "I'm with Sophia. I love her. If loving her means choosing her over your approval, your money, your standards, then I choose her. We're done here." They walked out together, heads high, leaving the table in stunned silence. The bass from the music felt distant now, like the world had narrowed to this one table. I stayed seated a moment longer, savoring the shift in power. Victor's face was ashen. Elena looked like she might faint. "Oh, and one more thing," I added casually, standing and smoothing my faded sundress. "Victor, that rival spa chain you secretly invested in last quarter, Tranquil Shores, I just bought them out. Hostile takeover, closed yesterday. Your empire is now partially mine. Poetic, don't you think? All that talk about avoiding gold diggers, and here you are, financially entangled with the very woman you tried to sideline." Victor's mouth opened, closed. No words came. Elena gripped the edge of the table, knuckles white. I picked up the business card.
tucked it back into my purse, and left a crisp $100 bill for the waiter's trouble, more than enough for his time. Outside, the South Beach night hummed with life. Convertibles cruising Ocean Drive, laughter spilling from bars. Sophia and Ryan waited on the sidewalk. She flew into my arms. "Mom, I'm so sorry. I had no idea they'd be that cruel. But I'm proud of you. God, I'm so proud."
Ryan hugged me next, genuine respect in his eyes. "Thank you for showing me who they really are before it was too late." We walked to a quieter cafe a few blocks away, ordered coffee, and talked until the sky lightened. Sophia cried a little, processing the betrayal. Ryan vowed to set hard boundaries with his parents. I told them the full story, how I'd used the divorce settlement scraps, maxed out credit, and sheer grit to partner with investors, open the first Serenity Spa in a run-down Art Deco building, then scale it into a wellness empire focused on real healing, not just Instagram aesthetics. Hydrotherapy suites, sound baths, IV drips with organic nutrients, places where people actually left feeling restored, not just pampered. Later that week, I learned the full fallout. Victor's hedge fund took a quiet hit when word spread that he'd been outmaneuvered by that Ramirez woman. Elena's society friends whispered about the dinner. They tried to call, to apologize, to offer olive branches wrapped in more money. We declined. Sophia and Ryan got engaged 3 months later in a simple beach ceremony at one of my spas. Sunrise yoga followed by a private breakfast. No hedge fund flexing, just love, laughter, and real people. I wore a beautiful white linen dress this time, but nothing ostentatious. No need to prove anything anymore. Membership. I made sure the waitlist stayed long. Some nights, when the Miami moon hangs low over the water and the city pulses with its endless energy, I sit on my bungalow porch with a cup of tea, the same modest home I've lived in for years. I think about the woman I was the day my husband walked out, broke, scared, determined, and the woman I became, silent, strategic, unbreakable. Money didn't change me, it freed me. And the best part? It let me teach my daughter that real wealth isn't measured in private islands or $200 steaks. It's measured in dignity, in resilience, and in never letting anyone, especially family, reduce you to what's in your bank account. Or in this case, what they wrongly assumed wasn't there.